the Testament of Shimon, Simon. The copy of the words of Shimon, the things which he spoke to his sons before he died, in the 120th year of his life, at which time Joseph his brother died. For when Shimon was sick, his sons came to visit him, and he strengthened himself, and sat up, and kissed them, and said, Hearken, my children, to Shimon your father, and I will declare unto you what things I have in my heart. I was born of Yaakov as my father's second son, and my mother Leah called me Shimon, because YAHUAH had heard her prayer. Moreover, I became strong exceedingly. I shrank from no achievement, nor I was afraid of aught. For my heart was hard, and my liver was immovable, and my bowels without compassion, because valor also has been given from El Elyon to men in soul and body. For in the time of my youth I was jealous in many things of Joseph, because my father loved him beyond all. And I set my mind against him to destroy him, because the prince of deceit sent forth the ruach of jealousy, and blinded my mind, so that I regarded him not as a brother, nor did I spare even Yaakov my father. But his Elohim and the Elohim of his fathers sent forth his angel, and delivered him out of my hands. For when I went to Shechem to bring ointment for the flocks, and Reuven to Dothan, where were our necessaries and all our stores, Yehudah my brother sold him to Yishmaelim. And when Reuven heard these things, he was grieved, for he wished to restore him to his father. But on hearing this, I was exceedingly wroth against Yehudah, in that he let him go away alive. And for 5 months I continued wrathful against him. But YAHUAH restrained me, and withheld from me the power of my hands. For my right hand was half withered for 7 days. And I knew, my children, that because of Joseph this had befallen me, and I repented and wept. And I besought YAHUAH Elohim that my hand might be restored, and that I might hold aloof from all pollution and envy, and from all folly. For I knew that I had devised an evil thing before YAHUAH and Yaakov my father, on account of Joseph my brother, and that I envied him. And now, my children, hearken unto me, and beware of the ruach of deceit and envy. For envy rules over the whole mind of a man, and suffers him neither to eat nor to drink, nor to do any good thing, but it ever suggests to him to destroy him that he envies. And so long as he that is envied flourishes, he that envies fades away. 2 years therefore I afflicted my soul with fasting and the fear of YAHUAH, and I learnt that deliverance from envy comes by the fear of Elohim. For if a man flees to YAHUAH, the evil ruach runs away from him, and his mind is lightened. And thereafter he sympathizes with him whom he envied, and forgives those who were hostile to him, and so ceases from his envy. And my father asked concerning me, because he saw that I was sad. And I said unto him, I am pained in my liver, for I mourned more than they all, because I was guilty of the selling of Joseph. And when we went down into Mitzrayim, and he bound me as a spy, I knew that I was suffering justly, and I grieved not. Now Joseph was a good man, and had the Ruach Elohim within him. Being compassionate and pitiful, he bore no malice against me, but loved me even as the rest of his brethren. Beware therefore, my children, of all jealousy and envy, and walk in singleness of soul, and with good heart, keeping in mind Joseph your father's brother, that Elohim may give you also grace, and glory, blessing upon your heads, even as you saw in Joseph's case, all his days, as he reproached us, not concerning this thing, but loved us as his own soul, and beyond his own sons glorified us, and gave us riches, and cattle, and fruits. Do you also, my children, love each one his brother with a good heart, and the ruach of envy will withdraw from you. For this makes savage the soul, and destroys the body. It causes anger and war in the mind, and stirs up unto deeds of blood, and leads the minds into frenzy, and suffers not prudence to act in men. Moreover, it takes away sleep, and causes tumult to the soul, and trembling in the body. For even in sleep some malicious jealousy, deluding him, gnaws, and with wicked ruach oath disturbs his soul, and causes the body to be troubled, and wakes the mind from sleep in confusion. And as a wicked and poisonous ruach, so appears it to men. Therefore was Joseph comely in appearance, and goodly to look upon, because no wickedness dwelt in him. For some of the trouble of the ruach the face manifests. And now, my children, make your hearts good before YAHUAH, and your ways straight before men. And you shall find grace before YAHUAH and men. Beware therefore of fornication, for fornication is mother of all evils, separating from Elohim, and bringing near to Baal. For I have seen it inscribed in the writing of Hanok, that your sons shall be corrupted in fornication, and shall do harm to the sons of Levi with the sword. But they shall not be able to withstand Levi, for he shall wage the war of YAHUAH, and shall conquer all the hosts. And they shall be few in number, divided in Levi and Yehudah, and there shall be none of you for sovereignty, even as also our father prophesied in his blessings. Behold, I have told you all things, that I may be acquitted of your sin. Now, if you remove from you your envy and all stiff-neckedness, as a rose shall my bones flourish in Yasharel, and as a lily my flesh in Yaakov, and my odor shall be as the odor of Lebanon. And as cedars shall holy ones be multiplied from me forever, and their branches shall stretch afar off. And then shall perish the seed of Canaan, and the remnant shall not be unto Amalek. And all the Cappadocians shall perish, and all the Shittim shall be utterly destroyed. Then shall fail the land of Ham, and all the people shall perish. Then shall all the earth rest from trouble, and all the world under heaven from war. Then the mighty one of Yasharel shall glorify Shem, for YAHUAH Elohim shall appear on earth, and himself save men. Then shall all the ruach oath of the seat be given to be trodden under foot, and men shall rule over wicked ruach oath. Then shall I arise in joy, and will bless El Elyon, because of his marvelous works, because Elohim has taken a body, and eaten with men, and saved men. And now, my children, obey Levi and Yehudah, and be not lifted up against these two tribes. For from them shall arise unto you the salvation of Elohim. For YAHUAH shall raise up from Levi as it were a high priest, and from Yehudah as it were a king, Elohim and man. He shall save all the other nations, and the race of Yasharel. Therefore I give you these commands, that you also may command your children, that they may observe them throughout their generations. And when Shimon had made an end of commanding his sons, he slept with his fathers, being 120 years old. And they laid him in a wooden coffin, to take up his bones to Chevron. And they took them up secretly during a war of the Mitzrayim. For the bones of Joseph the Mitzrayim guarded in the tombs of the kings. For the sorcerers told them that on the departure of the bones of Joseph there should be throughout all the land darkness and gloom, and an exceeding great plague to the Mitzrayim, so that even with a lamp a man should not recognize his brother. And the sons of Shimon bewailed their father, and they were in Mitzrayim until the day of their departure by the hand of Moshe.